accidentally forgot to change his diaper. And now the entire room smells like it smells terrible. Puppy Nuggy has not eaten in days. Exactly. And Baby Nuggy's somehow gone cray. Baby Nuggy, stop screaming! Just change your diaper! Okay, fine. Can't believe if Baby Nuggy doesn't change his diaper soon, he's just gonna have another accident all over this room. If you know what I mean. This is one of the worst accidents I've ever experienced in my whole life. The only thing that's ever been worse is all of the accidents in today's video. Because they are even crazier. Oh, no. And don't forget to smash like and subscribe or else a terrible bad accident might happen to you. Oh no, oh no. Quick, smash like and subscribe. You need to be safe. Starting off with one of the craziest Halloween accidents you've ever seen, called the zombie bus accident.
On October 10th, 2014, 18-year-old Jeremy McSpadden arrived at the incredible corn maze in Hauser, Idaho for his first night of work.
A corn maze? If I'm gonna go through a maze, it better not be made of corn. It better be made of something better, like chocolate or at least caramel popcorn. Come on, guys, what are we doing?
He was excited and nervous. The attraction featured a zombie slayer paintball bus, where patrons would ride through the corn maze on a modified school bus.
Oh, I forgot that this is on Halloween! One of the spookiest nights of the year, where apparently now we're riding zombie school buses. Oh, sure, Mom, I'd love to go to school. As long as I can ride with 10 other green aliens who don't really have a brain and put their hands out and rock away. They're like cursed or something.
Shooting at workers dressed as zombies with paintball guns mounted outside the windows. Jeremy, a tall and athletic West Valley High School senior, had been hired to play one of the zombies. His cousins and friends had been working there for weeks
Halloween.
And told him it was great fun and easy money. Around
And you get
10:30 p.m.,
paid.
Jeremy was in position, ready to perform. His job was to emerge from hiding spots in the corn maze and pretend to attack the bus while riders shot paintballs at him.
Oh, so let me get this straight. Since it's Halloween, people pay money to go to this corn maze and have a zombie experience attack, where these people will ride on a zombie school bus and zombies will secretly emerge from the bushes and then get paint all over them. Weird, but okay, fine, sounds scary.
As the bus slowly rolled through the field, Jeremy emerged from his hiding spot and ran toward the rear of the bus to play his role. Then Jeremy stumbled. Multiple witnesses saw him fall forward, landing directly in front of the passenger side rear tires. The bus immediately ran over him.
No!
Due to the uneven terrain of the cornfield, the bus rocked and bumped constantly. Nobody on the bus realized what had happened. Many of the patrons believed it was just part of the ride.
Jeremy performed so well, man. First of all, I don't know how well you can perform after getting run over by a school bus. And second of all, how bad are these kids at shooting paintballs? Like, the dude is literally laying down on the ground, not moving, and somehow none of y'all still hit the target. That's even crazier story.
Many of the patrons believed it was just part of the ride. The bus continued moving away from Jeremy's location. Only when the role players began to reset for the next bus did anyone realize something was wrong. Jeremy McSpadden died at the scene.
No!
His aunt said the teens were told they would be paid $50 for each night. It was Jeremy's first night.
Wait, everybody else got paid $50 and Jeremy gets paid nothing? That how much getting run over by a truck is worth to you? Ooh, family, I'm getting mad. I'm getting angry. This accident needs justice. And unlimited chocolate candy bars for life, because let's not forget, it's Halloween.
His cousin had fallen under the bus a few nights earlier but was unharmed. No charges were filed. The Zombie Slayer bus attraction remained closed.
What? That's all that happened? No justice was served? Family, that is one of the craziest accidents I've ever heard. But I'm about to tell you way more crazy accidents in today's video. So make sure you watch every single one of them. And then at the very end of the video, comment down below which accident you thought was the craziest. Subscribe! Accident number 1.
On November 4th, 2012, a 2-year-old called Maddox Durkosh was standing on a viewing deck to see the African painted dog enclosure at the Pittsburgh Zoo.
I already don't like this. Why are we involving a 2-year-old? That is probably smaller than the size of my 2 fingers. Even though they are weirdly long and tall. So now probably that animal is gonna think the 2-year-old's a little peanut and eat him like a snack.
The deck had a railing and many warning signs telling visitors not to lift children onto it, but Maddox's mother wanted him to see better, so she lifted him over the railing. In just seconds, he slipped and fell 14 feet down into the enclosure.
Police! Police! Where is the safety? To save this 2-year-old kid from his evil mom.
There was a net below the platform, but it was only made to catch small things like sunglasses or phones. Maddox fell onto the net, bounced off, and then dropped straight into the enclosure.
Oh my
pack
gosh.
of 11 painted dogs ran at him right away. Witnesses said his mother screamed and tried to jump in after him, but other visitors held her back. Everyone saw the attack happen in front of them. The dogs attacked while he was conscious, biting and tearing at his body. He suffered more than 46 wounds to his head and neck, and his inner organs were destroyed. He bled to death inside the enclosure before zoo staff could get close enough to reach him. A police officer fired his gun and killed one dog, hoping it would stop the attack, but the other dogs kept going.
Dogs? They're not all bad. And definitely not all hungry hippos.
Just like that, some animals are cute.
Just like you. And family, by the way, we have so many more crazy zoo accidents in today's video. Like one with a black whale, one with sneaky wolves, another with a giant lion, and even a super fast cheetah. Keep watching till the end of today's video so you can see.
The tragedy quickly started a big argument. The zoo said the mother had ignored the warnings and acted carelessly, while the mother and her family said the zoo was unsafe, that the railing left children in danger, and that the whole design of the platform was flawed. Both sides took legal action against each other, but in the end, no charges were brought against the mom. The family later made a private settlement with the zoo, and soon after the attack, the viewing platform was removed. As for the painted dogs, only the one killed during the rescue attempt died that day. The other dogs were later sent to different zoos. The painted dog exhibit was closed forever, and the space was later turned into a cheetah exhibit.
Wait, family, comment down below who you think is wrong in this situation. The mom for ignoring the warning signs? Or the zoo for having a dangerous viewing deck? And what are these painted dogs? Let me see, painted dogs. Whoa, they look crazy. Their ears are big like bears. Their bodies are tiny but agile. And they have spots all over them, just like camouflage. They're the ultimate predator. And sorry, tiny 2-year-old baby. I guess you are number 1 on their list. Oh, family, smash like if you think this is sad. Accident number 2.
Dawn Brancheau. Dawn Brancheau was an experienced trainer with 15 years of work behind her and was especially known for her bond with the orcas. Her closest connection was with Tilikum,
An orca is a giant whale.
SeaWorld Orlando's largest whale, who weighed more than 12,000 pounds. That day, she was performing in the Dine with Shamu show,
12,000 pounds. What is she eating every night? In-N-Out?
where guests sat by the pool eating while watching trainers and whales interact. At the end of the show, Dawn lay on a shallow ledge right next to Tilikum, rubbing his head as part of the routine. Then, out of nowhere, it grabbed her and pulled her into the water. The grip was fast and incredibly strong. The audience then saw the giant whale drag her under and thrash her around the pool.
Oh
and
my gosh.
SeaWorld staff rushed to help.
Oh
They
my
threw
gosh.
nets and food into the water to distract Tilikum and tried guiding it through different pools until it was finally moved into a smaller medical pool where he could be contained. But for a whole 45 minutes, he would not let Dawn go. Trainers and guests could only watch helplessly as she drowned. When her body was finally recovered, the autopsy showed just how violent the attack had been. Drowning was the official cause of death, but her injuries were horrific. Her spinal cord was severed. Her jaw, ribs, and bones in her neck were broken. Her scalp had been completely torn off. Her left arm ripped away, and her left knee dislocated. The report showed she had not only drowned, she had also suffered massive trauma from the sheer power of the orca's movements. Her death led to trainers being banned from swimming with the whales during shows.
Wait, why was that whale so violent? Not like it's bad enough that they're already 5 times the size of a human. They got 5 times as many teeth as us, 5 times the amount of strength as us. But now apparently they want to crunch on our bones and snack on us for 45 minutes too. 'Cause if you thought a 45-second YouTube short was long, think about 45 minutes underwater with a whale that is 5 times as violent. Not fun. Accident number 3.
Patricia Wyman. Patricia Wyman's death came only a few days after she started what she thought was her dream job. In April 1996, the 24-year-old wildlife biologist had just been hired to care for the wolves at Halliburton Forest and Wildlife Reserve.
Okay, I know wolves are pretty dangerous, but I used to have a lot of them where I used to live. And low-key, they're actually really beautiful. They're majestic, they're cool, and most importantly, they leave you alone if you are just smart enough to leave them alone too. Cause ain't nobody need a pet wolf to hold on to. I would much rather have something soft, cuddly, and cute like this Nuggy.
The reserve was known for keeping its wolves as wild as possible,
Wow.
which is why visitors could only see the pack through one-way glass, and staff were warned that people should never try to make contact with the animals.
Wait, what kind of contact? Like eye contact? Will they make me go oof with just the power of their eyes? Cause seriously, family, I don't know if you've ever had a staring contest with someone, but not only is it super awkward, super weird, but low-key, it also kind of makes you want to die. And apparently the wolves are actually making that come to life. They are taking this too far.
Patricia entered the wolves' 15-acre enclosure alone. Normally, the wolves were shy and stayed away from humans, but that day, something was different. When she stepped inside, the wolves stood up and began moving toward her. Witnesses later reported that they circled her, slowly surrounding her inside their territory. Patricia must have realized she was in danger, but before she could escape, she tripped over a fallen tree. That mistake sealed her fate because the alpha male rushed at her first, knocking her to the ground, and the rest of the pack followed. They bit into her arms and legs, tearing through skin and muscle, and pulled her in different directions. She tried to fight back, but the pack was too strong. Each wolf weighed as much as 176 pounds.
And each wolf also had rabies. Seriously, why else would it look like that? And can somebody tell me why Patricia is going in the room with all of these giant hungry worms? I mean wolves? They do kind of look like worms.
Patricia lost blood quickly and grew weaker as the wolves mauled her. She tried to protect her head and neck, but it wasn't enough. Within minutes, she died inside the enclosure only 4 days into her new job. When police arrived, the wolves were still guarding her, even though they hadn't yet eaten her. When officers tried to approach, the wolves circled them too, growling and moving closer, until gunshots were fired into the air to scare them away. Experts later said that the wolves' behavior had shifted suddenly and unpredictably, especially in the alpha male. No one knows why Patricia entered the enclosure that day when it wasn't feeding time, but once she was inside, she had no way to escape.
Ooh. And that is why, family, not only do we never work at dangerous zoos, but we should also most definitely never, ever, ever, and I mean ever, wear perfume that smells like a cheeseburger too. Because then she would have gone oof twice as fast. Oh, you think I'm lying to you? Put on cheeseburger perfume and then you tell me. Okay, no, please don't actually do that. I don't know what will happen. Accident number 4.
Rosa King. On what seemed a normal morning, Rosa King, a 33-year-old zookeeper at Hamerton Zoo Park, was cleaning the windows inside the tiger paddock before the zoo opened to visitors, which was just a routine part of her work. The enclosure housed Sisip, a fully grown male Malayan tiger. Safety rules required that a heavy vertical slide and 2 gates be closed to keep the tiger locked away whenever a keeper went inside.
2 gates closed? What is this lion in a top security prison? He can't do anything that bad, can he? Let's see.
But that morning, when Rosa stepped in, all 3 barriers had been left open. This meant Sisip had full access to the paddock. Tragedy struck. Sisip mauled her with extreme force. Its jaws clamped down on her neck with enough force to break through the bones of her spine, and her spinal cord was completely severed in the neck area.
Yep, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was wrong. My bad.
A devastating injury that left her instantly paralyzed and unable to fight back. The bite crushed soft tissue and broke bone, while the tiger's teeth sank deep into her throat. Her arms were ripped open with deep gouges, and her right leg was badly torn by both bites and swipes. Across her body, there were many cuts and scratches, signs of repeated mauling. These wounds would have caused her to lose a huge amount of blood within only moments. A visitor looking through the viewing area was the first to notice Rosa's body lying motionless on the ground and raised the alarm. The investigation confirmed that there had been no mechanical failure with the gates or slides. Rosa had entered without realizing the barriers were open, leaving her exposed to the tiger. The zoo's safety system depended entirely on keepers following the procedure correctly every time.
Wait. Are they trying to blame that on her? They're like, oh, Rosa, you should have checked if the gate was left open. Excuse me, Mr. Gatekeeper owner, sir? Why was the gate not shut in the first place? And better yet, why am I working at a place with hundreds of animals that could oof me. 'Cause yeah, feeding cute penguins sounds cute and all. Until you realize you also have to feed the giant lions. That would be lying if they didn't want to rip off your face. Seriously, family, they will do that every day. Have you seen the size of the lions? They're starving. They'll eat anything. Accident number 5.
Alexis Martinez. On December 24th, 2009, trainer Alexis Martinez was working with Keto, a huge orca that weighed more than...
Keto? Wait, is that whale on the keto diet? You trying to find a new girlfriend under that water? Because at 6,600 pounds, maybe he is trying to lose some weight. Don't worry, family. Every whale is beautiful. Except the ones that want to bite off your face. Those ones, I don't care to shame.
That weighed more than 6,600 pounds when the animal suddenly turned on him. At first, the session seemed normal, even though reports said Keto wasn't responding well to the signals it had been trained to follow. Then, as Alexis swam toward the shallow platform, Keto suddenly leaned toward him, pushed him under the water with his rostrum, the front of the whale's head, and rammed him hard in the chest. Trainers standing at the side tried everything to get Keto to stop. They slapped the water, gave hand signals, and even shook a food bucket, but the orca ignored all commands. It came up briefly for air, then went straight back to Alexis. Witnesses said it lifted Alexis out of the water on his rostrum and held him with his mouth shut. When Keto finally let him go, Alexis's body sank to the bottom of the pool, motionless. Rescuers tried to move Keto into another tank so they could reach Alexis, but the orca resisted. It played with the gates and refused to cooperate, delaying the rescue. Staff could only recover Alexis after they used a net to redirect the whale. The autopsy revealed how violent the attack had been.
Hold on. People are wondering why Keto did this. I think the answer is clear. Keto's name is literally Keto, which obviously means he's on the keto whale diet. And if he's on the keto whale diet, then he's obviously hangry. On the official keto diet, you cannot eat carbs. You can't eat any sugar. So if I was a whale 6,600 pounds and I'm not even allowed to eat a Snickers bar, then yeah, I am freaking out too. I mean, I wouldn't flip around a human body or nothing, but I would flip around my attitude. Because somebody better give me chocolate right now, or this is unfair.
Staff could only recover Alexis after they used a net to redirect the whale. The autopsy revealed how violent the attack had been. Alexis died from massive internal bleeding caused by the crushing force. His chest was broken with many compression fractures, and his organs were torn apart.
Oh no. The worst part is the whale didn't even eat his body. It's like, okay, maybe I can understand why animals eat people when they're hungry. That is the definition of animal instinct. You know, survival and whatnot. But this evil giant whale just oofed this poor person for the plot? He didn't even eat him! And somehow that makes me 10 times more offended. It was all for nothing! Accident number 6!
Gian Rankarasamy. On the morning of September 10th, 2025, 58-year-old zookeeper Gian Rankarasamy, a veteran who had worked with lions and tigers for almost 20 years.
Okay, a 58-year-old working with giant lions, giant tigers. Okay, family, we already know he's oofed.
Stepped out of his vehicle inside the lion enclosure during feeding time, while tourists remained inside. Allegedly, according to the safety rules, no one is ever allowed to leave the vehicle in predator areas, but that morning, Gian did. He left the vehicle door open and stood beside it while the lions were being fed. One lion crept up behind him and suddenly pounced, knocking him to the ground. Within seconds, the rest of the pride joined in. Tourists sitting inside their cars watched in horror as the lions mauled Gian, biting and clawing him while he lay helpless on the ground. Some honked their horns frantically to try to scare the animals away, but the lions ignored the noise. The attack lasted for nearly 15 minutes before help arrived. When they finally reached the scene and pulled Gian's body out, the injuries were catastrophic. His chest had been ripped open, his neck and one leg were broken, and his body was covered with deep bite and claw wounds. He was rushed to Intrarat Hospital, but doctors could only declare him dead. Police and wildlife authorities launched a full investigation to find out why Gian left the vehicle. Some believe it may have been a mistake or distraction, while his family insists he never broke safety rules without a reason. His wife said he always followed the guidelines and cared for the animals like family. His brother explained that Gian was only a few months away from retirement.
Whoa, wait a second. That just gave this story a giant twist. Because family, if Gian always followed the rules and was only a couple months away from retirement, could it possibly be that whoever was in that vehicle with him that day pushed him out? Maybe it was evil tourists who decided to do a bad prank. Or maybe, just maybe, was there someone who worked at this animal zoo, maybe even owned the zoo, and didn't want to pay John his giant pension that he would have got after he finally retired? Because family, at most jobs that you work at, if you work there a certain amount of time and then quit, when you're older, they give you something called a pension, which is a monthly payment of cash. I don't know, family. I don't know. This is all conspiracy, so I don't even want to say that. You never know with these crazy stories. Anything is possible. Accident number 7.
Norden bin Montong. On the afternoon of November 13th, 2008, 32-year-old Norden bin Montong, a Malaysian cleaner at Singapore Zoo, climbed over the barrier and jumped into the white tiger enclosure.
What?
People watching said he was carrying a broom and a yellow bucket, shouting as he walked. At first, visitors thought it was part of a show and saw 3 white tigers coming toward him slowly. One moved closer, then suddenly hit him, knocking him to his knees. Norden tried to protect himself, even lifting the bucket over his head like a shield, but it was no use.
What's that bucket gonna do? Make the tigers want to build a sandcastle with you? I don't think so!
A second tiger joined in, and both began biting at him. Onlookers screamed for him to get back into the nearby water, but his sudden movements only made the tigers attack harder. One tiger bit into his neck and pushed him to the ground. Another grabbed his body and dragged him further inside the paddock. People threw things and shouted, but the attack went on for nearly 2 minutes. The tigers bit him again and again on the head, chest, and body. Doctors counted more than 90 wounds. His ribs and skull were broken, and the bites to his neck were so bad that he had no chance of surviving. Keepers ran to the scene and used long poles, banging them on the ground to scare the tigers away. After several tries, they managed to distract the animals long enough to pull Norden's body out. Veterinarians tried first aid while waiting for paramedics, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead shortly afterward. Investigators later said that Norden had entered the enclosure on purpose, and his death was treated as a suicide.
What? No! If he had a bucket and a broom in his hand, maybe he was trying to clean a rock or sweep or something. I don't know. Oh! Accident number 1. StarCraft.
On August 5th, 2005, 28-year-old Lee Sung-seop entered an internet cafe in Daegu, South Korea. He ordered a soda, logged into StarCraft, and began playing.
Sir, why is that laptop 5 times the size of your head? That thing is literally the size of a giant rug. And then you could have your own StarCraft adventure. Flying on your magic carpet ride.
Hours turned into days. Witnesses said he rarely moved from his chair, taking only short breaks to the toilet. By the second night, he had been at the keyboard for nearly 50 hours. His posture sagged, his eyes bloodshot, but he kept clicking. The cafe manager urged him to stop, but Lee shook his head and loaded another match.
Hey, what's that, Puppy Nuggy? What do you have to say? Oh, even you're telling the gamer to go away? Oh, Puppy Nuggy! I mean, I want to disagree, but low-key, you're right.
At dawn on the 3rd day, he suddenly collapsed. Paramedics arrived quickly, but he was unresponsive. At the hospital, doctors confirmed cardiac arrest brought on by exhaustion, dehydration, and blood clotting from immobility. He was pronounced dead shortly after arrival.
No! Wait, you're telling me that dude went, ooh? Woof. Yeah, exactly! All from playing a video game? Whoa! I don't know, Puppy Nuggy. Maybe we should go outside and play fetch instead. Accident number 2! Pokemon Go!
On July 9th, 2017, in Iloilo City, Philippines, a 12-year-old boy was playing Pokemon Go with friends. They wandered near a construction site while searching for digital creatures. The boy, holding his phone, climbed onto a metal structure close to overhead power lines. Witnesses said he lost his balance and reached out for support. His hand made contact with a live electrical cable. A loud crack followed, and he collapsed instantly. Friends screamed for help, and bystanders rushed over. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but the boy showed no signs of life.
And he also showed no signs of having a brain. If you're going to climb up an electrical pole and think, hey, this must be okay. No way!
He was pronounced dead from electrocution. Authorities confirmed that he had been distracted by the game, which led him into a dangerous area.
Because he was playing Pokemon Go. Billy, Pokemon Go is where you look on your phone and see Pokemon in the game, but you actually have to go find them in real life. So this dude must have been climbing up that pole to try and find a Pokemon. Except, oops, Whoopsie daisy! The place he was looking was definitely wrong!
The accident was covered by local news outlets and cited as part of a series of Pokemon Go-related fatalities worldwide. where
Worldwide?
players, focused on the screen, entered dangerous environments.
Whoa. Emily, that's crazy. If you love Pokemon or Roblox or even Minecraft too, smash like on today's video to make sure that's not you. Because I need you all to be safe. Accident number 3, Minecraft.
On July 19th, 2015, a 17-year-old boy entered an internet cafe in Pampanga, Philippines. He logged into Minecraft and began what became a marathon session. Witnesses said he played for almost 3 straight days, taking only brief naps at the desk.
What?
Staff grew concerned when they noticed he had not eaten properly and had barely moved from his chair. On the 3rd day, as he leaned forward to type, his body went limp. He collapsed onto the keyboard and did not get up again. Friends called for help, and staff attempted first aid. Paramedics arrived, but pronounced him dead at the scene.
What?
Local doctors later cited cardiac failure linked to severe exhaustion and dehydration after continuous gaming.
Oh my gosh, poor guy. All he wanted to do was play with a couple blocks. And now he's gonna be stuck in his own block. Under the ground. Oh no. Accident number 4. Call of Duty.
On December 28th, 2017, 2 Call of Duty players in the United States got into an online argument over a $1.50 wagered match.
What?
One player, Casey Viner, asked another, Tyler Barris, to swat his opponent by calling police to his address. Barris dialed 911 in Los Angeles and reported a fake hostage situation in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh no, bad idea.
The address he gave was not his rival's, but belonged to 28-year-old Andrew Finch, who had no connection to the dispute. Police surrounded Finch's home. When he opened the door, officers ordered him to raise his hands. Confused, he moved slightly, and an officer fired a single shot. Finch was killed instantly in front of his family. The case shocked the gaming world. Barris was later sentenced to 20 years in prison, while Viner received a shorter sentence.
Wait, that's crazy, family. You should never, ever, ever swat someone. It's so dangerous. It's so bad. And in this case, ended in death. R.I.P. Accident number 5. Whee!
On December 28th, 2009, 25-year-old Tim Eves from Sittingbourne, Kent, received a Nintendo Wii Fit as a Christmas present.
Oh my gosh,
Excited
so
to try
fun.
it, he began using the console's fitness programs on Boxing Day. Family members later reported that he exercised intensely for several hours with the balance board and aerobic mini-games. That evening, after finishing a workout, he complained of chest pains and shortness of breath. His mother urged him to rest. Minutes later, he collapsed in the living room. Paramedics were called immediately. Despite resuscitation attempts, he was declared dead at the scene. An inquest found that Tim had suffered a sudden cardiac arrhythmia. Though rare, doctors noted that strenuous physical activity can sometimes trigger fatal heart irregularities in young adults. The case was widely reported in the UK as the first known death linked to Wii Fit activity.
So he was working out too much? And then his heart just said, yeah, I'm tired, good night? For the rest of his life? What the? We Fit? Sounds more like we fight. A heart attack! Accident number 6! Counter-Strike.
February 26, 2010, in Chongqing, China, 2 men in their 20s sat in an internet cafe playing Counter-Strike. They began to argue over strategy and insults in the game. Witnesses said the argument grew heated, with both shouting loud enough to attract attention across the room. One man stood up and pushed the other. Staff intervened and briefly separated them, but the fight continued outside the cafe. The aggressor grabbed a knife and stabbed his opponent multiple times in the chest and abdomen. Bystanders called for help, but the victim collapsed on the pavement before paramedics arrived. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police quickly arrested the attacker, who admitted to losing his temper during the argument. The killing was widely reported in Chinese media as another example of internet cafe disputes turning deadly.
This accident does not seem like Counter-Strike's fault. Seems more like a psycho, violent human being that is on the loose and somehow has access to a computer too. And he's at an internet cafe playing too? How's this dude able to have a giant knife in his pocket but not able to get Wi-Fi at home? Go home, bro! You're evil. Accident number 7! Grand Theft Auto!
On August 3rd, 2008, in Bangkok, Thailand, 18-year-old high school student Paul Watchino hailed a taxi late at night. When they reached his destination, instead of paying, He pulled a knife and attacked the 54-year-old driver.
What?
He stabbed him multiple times before dragging the body from the car and attempting to drive away. Witnesses quickly alerted police, who intercepted him only minutes later.
Whoa.
He confessed that he had been playing Grand Theft Auto and wanted to know what it felt like to hijack a car in real life. Investigators said he showed no signs of intoxication or mental illness, only fixation on the game. The teenager was charged with murder and robbery. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. Thai authorities responded by temporarily pulling copies of Grand Theft Auto 4 from store shelves, citing the killing as evidence of dangerous influence. The crime received international coverage and became one of the first game-inspired homicides.
Wait, because there was stealing cars in a game, people thought IRL, it's okay? That's not how it works. But apparently it is for crazy people. That's terrifying. Accident number 8, virtual reality.
On December 21st, 2017, a 44-year-old man in Moscow, Russia, was at home using a virtual reality headset. He moved through his apartment while immersed in the game, unaware of obstacles around him. Investigators later determined that he stumbled while playing and crashed directly into a glass table. The impact shattered the surface, slicing deep into his body. Alone in the apartment, he was unable to call for help. Neighbors reported hearing a loud crash, but did not enter. Hours later, family members found him lying in the living room surrounded by broken glass.
No!
He had bled to death from severe wounds to his head and neck. Moscow authorities confirmed the accident, noting that it was one of the first recorded cases of a fatality linked directly to the use of a VR headset. The unusual circumstances attracted international attention, with headlines highlighting the hidden dangers of playing immersive games in unsafe environments.
Wait a second, if that happened to him while he was playing in VR, then does that mean if anybody else wants to be safe, we gotta buy ourselves a baby gate? Because apparently if we don't put that thing around us, protecting us from walking gosh knows where, that VR headset on our face will cause us to fall, tumble, and despair. Oh, puppy Nuggy! I'd rather just go on a real walk with you instead. Like at shopalexia.com on November 28th, where you can adopt puppy Nuggy that exact day. Then you can go on as many walks with him as you want. Accident number 9, World of Warcraft.
On February 1st, 2007, a 26-year-old man walked into an internet cafe in Guangzhou, China.
Not another internet cafe. Family, we already know what happens with these.
Sat down, opened World of Warcraft, and began to play. Witnesses later said he barely spoke, only pausing for instant noodles or brief toilet breaks.
I mean, fair. Instant noodles are fire.
Day 1 passed, then day 2. He remained in the same seat, eyes fixed on the screen, fingers steady on the mouse. By the 3rd day, his movement slowed. At 10 a.m., he suddenly slumped forward onto the desk. Other customers thought he had fallen asleep. After several minutes without motion, staff went to check. They shook his shoulder, but he was limp. An ambulance was called. When paramedics arrived, he showed no pulse. Doctors at the nearest hospital declared him dead, citing cardiac arrest linked to extreme exhaustion and dehydration after 3 days of continuous gaming.
Not again! Gosh, somebody bring these kids a water bottle. Maybe a couple French fries or 2. Seriously, these games got their brains all messed up. And now they don't even remember how to be a human. Accident number 10, Halo.
On October 20th, 2007, in Wellington, Ohio, 16-year-old Daniel Petrick argued with his parents after they confiscated his copy of Halo 3. They had locked the game in a safe, believing he had become dangerously addicted. While they were out, Daniel discovered where the key was hidden and retrieved both the game and his father's pistol. When his parents returned, he confronted them in the living room. He asked them to close their eyes, saying he had a surprise. Instead, he raised the pistol and fired. His mother, Susan, was killed instantly. His father, Mark, was shot in the head, but survived. Daniel attempted to frame his father by placing the gun in his hand. Paramedics arrived quickly and saved him. Daniel was arrested and later sentenced to 23 years to life in prison. The case shocked the United States, raising questions about violent video games and teenage obsession.
That's crazy! That's the worst story I've heard so far! Puppy Nuggy, block your cute puppy ears. You can't hear this! You're just a baby. Nope. Sorry. I meant a puppy. Which is technically a baby dog, but whatever, Puppy Nuggy. You're right. Accident number 11, Pokemon!
On September 7th, 2016, 2 men in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, were playing Pokemon Go along a coastal path. The mobile game, which used GPS and augmented reality, had become a global sensation only weeks earlier. Players often followed the app into unfamiliar areas while chasing virtual creatures. That afternoon, the men, aged 21 and 22, walked together while staring at their phones. The trail narrowed near a steep drop overlooking the sea. Focused on the screen, they failed to notice the edge. Both fell from a height of more than 65 feet.
No!
Emergency responders were called immediately by nearby witnesses. One of the men was found alive but badly injured. The other was discovered at the base of the cliff, unresponsive. He was declared dead at the hospital a short time later. Japanese authorities urged players to pay more attention to their surroundings, and the case received wide coverage in national and international media.
R.I.P. Accident number 12! League of Legends.
On November 14, 2012, a 23-year-old man entered an internet cafe in Wuhan, China. He sat at a terminal, logged into League of Legends, and began to play. Staff said he had been a regular customer, sometimes staying for long sessions, but this time he remained in his seat for nearly 23 hours without pause. Other patrons noticed him shifting uncomfortably, rubbing his chest.
That's
but he
so
kept on
long.
Playing. As the morning turned into afternoon, his body weakened. At 3 p.m., he suddenly slumped back in his chair. His arms fell to his side, the mouse slipped from his hand. The attendant rushed over, calling his name, but he was unresponsive. Paramedics were summoned immediately. By the time they arrived, his pulse was faint and irregular. He was transported to a nearby hospital, where doctors attempted to resuscitate him. He was declared dead shortly afterward. Medical staff attributed the death to cardiac arrest, brought on by fatigue, dehydration, and prolonged immobility. It was one of several such incidents reported in China during that period.
Really, this just keeps happening over and over and over again. People are not taking breaks. They're addicted. Accident number 13! Lineage number 2.
March 29, 2005 in Shanghai, two friends, Qiu Chengwei and Zhu Kaoyuan, played the online game Lineage 2. Qiu loaned
I've never
Zhu
heard
a
of this
powerful
game.
virtual sword, the Dragon Saber. Weeks later, Zhu sold it for 7,200 yuan without permission.
Whoa.
Furious, Qiu demanded its return. When Zhu refused, Qiu reported the theft to police. At the time, Chinese law did not recognize virtual property as real, and no charges were filed. On the evening of March 29th, Qiu confronted Zhu in person. The argument escalated into violence. Qiu drew a knife and stabbed Zhu repeatedly. Zhu died from his wounds. Qiu was arrested at the scene. In June 2005, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole. The killing became one of the first high-profile cases linking disputes over virtual items to real-world homicide, sparking debate in China over the value and legal status of digital property.
Like, that's so crazy, family. And if you want to see the craziest last story yet, smash like on today's video right now because we're about to see the final accident. Woohoo! Woof, woof, woof. Whoa! Go, puppy nuggy, go. Did he just say his first word? Accident number 14! The Pokemon train.
On August 23, 2016, in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan, a 39-year-old truck driver was driving on a rural road while playing Pokemon Go. Distracted by the game, he failed to see two women crossing at a railway intersection.
Oh no!
The truck struck both pedestrians.
No!
One woman, aged 72, died instantly.
Not an old lady. It's always the cute old ladies.
The second, aged 60, was rushed to hospital with critical
not
injuries
a middle-aged
and died
lady?
shortly afterward. Witnesses said the driver never braked before impact. Police arrested the man at the scene. He admitted he had been playing Pokemon Go behind the wheel. Prosecutors charged him with dangerous driving resulting in death. The case made national headlines in Japan, where the government had already issued public safety warnings about the game. Following the tragedy, Niantic, the game's developer, added new warnings for players not to use the app while operating vehicles. Despite the changes, the Tokushima crash remains one of the deadliest incidents linked to mobile gaming distraction.
Warning, do not use game while driving? Like, duh. It's like saying please use spoon while eating soup. Prank number 1.
On December 21st, 2013, a drunken argument in Pottawatomie County, Oklahoma turned into one of the most bizarre deaths ever recorded.
Wait a second, how is an argument a prank? Was he pranking him by pretending to hate him? Pranking him by pretending to scream? Or was the prank pretending to be sleeping on that very cold and shiny metallic hospital bed? That don't look fun.
Denver St. Clair, a 58-year-old man, had been drinking with his stepson, 33-year-old Brad Lee Davis.
Apple
The
juice,
two had
I
a
hope.
complicated relationship marked by years of tension and resentment. That night, their conflict escalated. Davis grabbed his stepfather's underwear from behind. What started as a humiliating prank quickly became something far worse.
Oh no.
He pulled the elastic waistband upward with violent force, stretching it over St. Clair's head and down around his neck.
No! Not the atomic wedgie! I would be so mad at whoever did that to me, but I will say, yes, that dude just got wedgied, but he also just got a free hat. Puppy Nuggy, the brand new plushie available on ShopAlexia.com. Family Puppy Nuggy is here for a very limited time only. And once he sells out, he is selling out forever. We will never bring him back. We also have Chili Nuggy, Saucy Nuggy, and Baby Nuggy available for a limited time too. Saucy Nuggy is already almost completely sold out, so go to ShopAlexia.com right now so you don't miss out. Don't say I didn't tell you so.
This was what teenagers call an atomic wedgie, a schoolyard joke taken to its extreme limit. But Davis didn't stop pulling. The elastic band tightened around St. Clair's throat. What had been an act of anger and humiliation transformed into strangulation. St. Clair couldn't breathe. He clawed at the fabric, digging into his neck, but the elastic was too tight, too deeply embedded in his skin. His airway closed. The medical examiner later confirmed that death took several minutes. St. Clair remained conscious as oxygen stopped reaching his brain.
Several minutes with a wedgie stuck around your neck? At that point, that's not a necklace. That is a dog collar made out of boxers. Gross.
Face turned red, then purple. Petechial hemorrhaging appeared in his eyes, tiny
he's
blood
blue!
vessels bursting from the pressure. He fought for air that wouldn't come. Davis stood watching as his stepfather suffocated. By the time he realized what he had done, it was too late. The underwear had become a ligature, cutting off blood flow to the brain and compressing the windpipe. St. Clair collapsed to the floor. When police arrived, they found the body still wearing the underwear wrapped around the neck.
Yes, hello? Police? My stepfather is not breathing! And it definitely wasn't because of Mimi. It's clearly his boxies that apparently he bought 3 sizes too small. Seriously, stepdad, why are you wearing an XXX small boxer when you're eating XX extra hamburgers? Obviously, it's gonna get too tight.
The elastic waistband had left deep marks in the skin that matched the pattern perfectly.
Oh, he's
the autopsy
busted.
listed cause of death as asphyxiation by ligature strangulation. The weapon was a pair of underwear. Davis was arrested and later convicted of first-degree manslaughter.
Whoa, that ended in tragedy, but also a prank, but also a joke, but that's not a funny joke because it ended in such a terrible something. I need you all to comment down below right now what you rate that prank. Is it a 1 out of 10 because it's mean? Is it a 6 out of 10 because it's a little bit funny? Or is it a 10 out of 10 because y'all are kind of evil, just like the guy who did the wedgie? Oh no. And make sure you watch to the end of today's video because we have so many more crazy pranks that we have to rate. Prank number 2.
On August 26, 2012, Randy Tenley stood in the middle of U.S. Highway 93 near Kalispell, Montana.
Well,
It was
why is he
after
doing
dark.
that?
The 44-year-old wore a full military-style ghillie suit, a camouflage outfit covered in shaggy strips of fabric designed to make a person invisible in natural surroundings.
Excuse me, sir. It don't matter how invisible you think you are. If you're in the middle of the road, your body is gonna have to get towed. Because you're about to get hit by a car.
His plan was simple. He wanted to create a Bigfoot sighting, to scare passing drivers and hopefully make the local news. His friends waited on the shoulder of the road, watching as Tenley positioned himself in the traffic lane. Cars approached in the darkness. The ghillie suit worked exactly as designed.
What?
Against the black pavement and night sky, Tenley was nearly impossible to see. He looked like a shadow, a vague shape that didn't register as human until it was too late. The first car came fast. The driver never saw him. There were no brake lights, no swerving, no attempt to stop. The vehicle struck Tenley at highway speed, throwing his body several feet down the road. The impact broke bones and caused severe trauma, but it wasn't immediately fatal. He lay on the pavement, injured and unable to move. Seconds later, a second car approached. The driver had no warning, no time to react. The headlights illuminated Tenley's body only at the last moment. The car ran over him. This impact finished what the first had started. The crushing force caused massive internal injuries. His chest cavity collapsed. Organs ruptured. Death came quickly after the second strike. His friends ran from the roadside screaming for help. When police arrived, they explained the Bigfoot hoax. Investigators found no skid marks from either vehicle. Both drivers never saw what they hit until impact. The ghillie suit had worked too well. Tenley died invisible on a dark Montana highway, killed by his own successful disguise.
Wait a second. So does that mean his experiment was successful or not? Because yes, he looked like a tree, so nobody saw him. But that's also the reason why he got absolutely crushed
Under that very beautiful night sky.
Come on, family. Comment down below right now what you rate this prank out of 10. Is it a 9 out of 10 because his costume worked so good? Or a 2 out of 10? Seriously, bro. What were you expecting to happen? Prank number 3.
On January 19th, 2020, 6 teenagers drove through a quiet neighborhood in Corona, California. They had just pulled off a classic prank, ringing the doorbell at Anurag Chandra's home and running back to their car.
Ding dong ditch! I know this prank. This is where you go up to somebody's house, ring the doorbell, and then run away super fast before the person in the house answers the door.
It was ding dong ditch, harmless fun that teenagers had been doing for generations. Among them were Daniel Hawkins, Jacob Ivoscu, and Drake Ruiz. But Chandra didn't see it as harmless. He was enraged. Within seconds, he got into his car and began chasing them. What started as a prank became a high-speed pursuit through residential streets. Chandra accelerated to 99 miles per hour, weaving between parked cars and through intersections. The teenagers tried to escape, their driver pushing the car faster, but Chandra stayed close behind.
Wait, this dude is so angry that he just missed his favorite part of his TV show. He said, "You made me pause Netflix for this?"
Oh no.
You teenagers aren't gonna get away with this!
And I'll make sure.
The chase lasted several minutes. Chandra pulled alongside the teens' vehicle. He didn't just follow them. He deliberately rammed their car with his own. The impact forced them off the road. At that speed, the driver had no chance to regain control. The car veered sharply, left the pavement, and slammed into a tree. The collision was brutal. The tree punched through the passenger compartment, metal crumpled inward. The 3 sitting in the back died instantly from the impact. Their bodies were thrown against seatbelts with enough force to cause fatal internal injuries. The tree had essentially cut through the vehicle's structure, crushing everything in its path. The other 3 teenagers survived with serious injuries. Chandra stopped at the scene and was arrested immediately. He was later charged with 3 counts of murder. A doorbell prank had ended in triple homicide. 3 families lost their sons because a grown man couldn't control his rage over a momentary annoyance. Chandra was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Whoa, that one's spooky.
Should the kids have been ding-dong ditching the homes? No, probably not. But excuse me, Mr. Old Man in the house, should you be chasing 6 children down the street at full speed? Absolutely no-y!
Like never, ever.
Prank number 4.
In early December 2012, Jacinta Saldana was working her shift as a nurse at King Edward VII Hospital in London. The hospital was treating Kate Middleton, who was pregnant with her first child.
Wait, Kate Middleton, isn't that a name of a famous celebrity? Or a member of the royal family? Kate Middleton. Oh, it is!
Wait, is that the same girl?
That morning, the phone rang at the nurse's station. On the other end were 2 Australian radio hosts pretending to be Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles. They asked for information about Kate's condition. Saldana believed the impersonation was real.
It is
she transferred the call to another nurse who gave details about the royal patient's medical status. The entire conversation was recorded. Within hours, the radio station broadcast it internationally. The prank became global news. Saldana's voice was heard by millions of people around the world. The hospital launched an internal investigation. Media coverage intensified. Saldana felt crushing shame and guilt. She believed she had betrayed patient confidentiality, failed the royal family.
Yeah, she kind of did. She thought right.
And humiliated her hospital. The weight of public exposure became unbearable. She couldn't escape the knowledge that her mistake had been broadcast worldwide and replayed endlessly across news channels. Over the next few days, her mental state deteriorated rapidly. She wrote 3 notes expressing her guilt and shame. On December 7th, just days after the prank call, Saldana was found dead in her nursing accommodation. She had chosen to leave by hanging. Colleagues discovered her body. The news sparked international outrage. The radio station suspended both hosts indefinitely. Questions arose about whether a prank call could be considered responsible for someone's death. Legal experts debated culpability, but for Saldana's family, the cause was clear. A joke meant for entertainment had created such overwhelming shame that a dedicated nurse saw no way forward except to end her own life. The prank call had lasted minutes. Its consequences were permanent.
What do you think, family? If somebody pranks someone, does that mean you're responsible for what happens next? Because I'm sure that is not the ending that those two radio hosts wanted. But they did lie and try and make fun of the hospital. So, who really knows? All right, comment down below right now what you rate that prank out of 10. Because I am very curious what you think and which prank of today's video is going to be the worst. Prank number 5.
February 29th, 2020. A birthday party was underway in Moscow, Russia. The celebration was for Ekaterina Didenko, a social media influencer with a large following. Her husband, 32-year-old Valentin Didenko, was among the guests gathered around an indoor swimming pool.
Oh, no.
Someone had planned a visual spectacle to make the party memorable. They would dump dry ice into the pool to create a dramatic fog effect.
Pool parties are always dangerous. I don't care what you say. There's water, there's screaming and running kids, and there's always that one person who does not know how to swim. And here's a thought for you, buddy, who doesn't know how to swim. If you don't know how to swim in a pool, maybe don't go to the pool party. Just a suggestion, though.
Partygoers carried more than 60 pounds of dry ice to the pool's edge.
Dry ice.
They dumped it into the warm water all at once. The reaction was immediate and spectacular. Thick white fog erupted from the pool, rolling across the surface and spilling onto the deck. Guests cheered and laughed.
Dry ice is actually so dangerous. I've dealt with it before, and it gives off these fumes that are really bad to inhale. And if you inhale the fumes too much, then you start to cough, your lungs start to hurt. It's really, really dangerous. So yeah, why not fill a whole giant pool with dry ice? I'm sure this one's gonna end well.
Several people, including Valentin, jumped into the pool to swim through the fog. But dry ice is frozen carbon dioxide. When it sublimates in warm water, it releases massive amounts of CO2 gas. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. It sinks and displaces oxygen. The gas was invisible, odorless, and filled the indoor space rapidly. The swimmers in the pool suddenly couldn't breathe. There was no smoke, no visible danger, just the absence of oxygen where air should have been. Valentin and 2 others lost consciousness almost immediately. Their bodies went limp in the water. Other guests tried to help but began collapsing themselves as they entered the gas cloud. Confusion spread through the room. People gasped for air that wasn't there. The decorative fog had become a suffocating blanket of carbon dioxide. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but 3 people were already dead, including Valentin. Several others required hospitalization for asphyxiation. The autopsy confirmed carbon dioxide poisoning. Ekaterina had lost her husband at her own birthday party.
Whoa.
A prank meant to create beautiful photographs had displaced all the oxygen in the room and killed 3 people in minutes.
Wow. They really don't tell you that about dry ice. A lot of people don't know this either. When I was dealing with dry ice, I had no idea either. And I only figured this out after I started coughing myself. Oh my gosh, I could have went through the same thing. Oh, that makes it so scary. Family, rate this prank down below right now. 1 means bad, 10 means good. I want to know what you think. Prank number 6.
June 6, 1892, Wilkins Rustin stood on a street in New Haven, Connecticut, surrounded by members of the Delta Kappa Epsilon fraternity at Yale University.
A frat. I'm sure this is going to end
Sophomore
well.
was undergoing initiation, a ritual that was common and largely unregulated in that era. His fraternity brothers had prepared a test. They tied a blindfold tightly around his eyes. He could see nothing. They instructed him to run at full speed down the city street. Other members would watch and laugh.
Are
Rustin
there going to be
had no
cars
choice but
there?
to trust them. He began running, relying
Bad
only
idea.
on sound and the feeling of pavement under his
Terrible
feet.
idea.
He sprinted blindly through the darkness,
Don't do it,
disoriented
bro.
and unable to judge distance or direction. His fraternity brothers watched from the sidewalk as he gained speed. A horse-drawn carriage sat stationary on the street ahead.
Wait. I'm sorry. This is not funny because I'm sure this ends in tragedy, but I was fully expecting a car to come down the road at full speed, honking. fine. But what do we have? A horse and carriage buggy that you would expect to see in the 1950s. Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Rustin couldn't see it. He ran directly into the carriage at full force. A sharp wooden pole jutted from the vehicle's frame. The pole penetrated his abdomen. The impact drove it deep into his body, puncturing through his intestines and abdominal cavity. Rustin screamed. He was conscious, aware, impaled on the wooden shaft. His fraternity brothers rushed forward and removed the blindfold. They saw the pole extending through his body. He was taken immediately to medical care, but doctors in 1892 had limited ability to treat such injuries. The punctured intestines leaked bacteria into his abdominal cavity. Peritonitis developed, an infection spreading through his abdomen that 19th century medicine could not stop. Rustin endured 5 days of agony. Fever consumed him. The pain intensified as sepsis spread through his system. His body slowly shut down from the infection. On June 11th, 1892, Wilkins Rustin died. A single moment of blindfolded running had resulted in a slow death by infection, all in the name of fraternity tradition.
Wait, that's actually insane. First of all, it's insane that he did an oof right there and then by getting that giant pole through his whole abdomen. And second of all, it's even crazier that he actually went oof from an infection. Infections are low-key very dangerous. And a lot of times when people go to the hospital with near-death injuries, they don't actually die from the injury itself, but they actually die from the infections caused by those injuries. Ah, that's crazy. Rate the prank down below in the comments, family. I need to know. Next prank. Prank number 7.
On October 14th, 1873, Mortimer Leggett stood with other pledges near a railroad trestle in Ithaca,
not
New
another
York.
frat!
He was pledging the Kappa Alpha Society at Cornell University. The fraternity had chosen a location known for its danger.
Oh, great! On a train track! These stories always end well.
A narrow railroad bridge that crossed high above a deep gorge. It was night. Members of the fraternity prepared their initiation ritual. They tied blindfolds around the eyes of each pledge, including Leggett. Complete darkness. The pledges were led onto the trestle and instructed to walk across. They could feel only the wooden railroad ties beneath their feet and empty space on either side. The bridge was narrow. One wrong step meant to fall into the gorge below. Balance became difficult without vision. Fraternity members stood watching as the blindfolded pledges moved forward slowly, disoriented and terrified. Leggett stepped carefully, trying to find solid ground with each footfall. His sense of direction failed him. He misjudged where the edge was. His foot missed the tie and met only air. His body tipped sideways. He fell over the edge of the trestle. The blindfold remained tied around his eyes as he dropped. He fell through darkness he couldn't see, not knowing what was below or how far he would fall. The descent lasted several seconds. He hit the rocks and water at the bottom of the gorge with massive force. The impact fractured his skull. His bones shattered. Internal organs ruptured from the collision. Death was instant. When they recovered his body from the gorge, the blindfold was still tied securely around his eyes. Mortimer Leggett had died without ever seeing what killed him. Cornell faced scrutiny over the incident, but hazing practices continued despite his death. A trust exercise designed to test courage had become an execution, and a young man fell to his death while his fraternity brothers watched from above.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one at all. I'm rating that prank a 1 out of 10. But what do you guys rate it? Oh, that one was probably the meanest one yet. Prank number 8.
On August 17th, 2011, 2 teenagers in rural Pickaway County, Ohio, decided to pull a prank on passing drivers. They took petroleum jelly and plastic wrap to a stop sign at a quiet intersection. They smeared the jelly thickly across the sign's surface.
Wait, I have a guess. I think that this petroleum jelly with the plastic wrap over the stop sign is gonna make the sign not visible to the drivers. So then instead of stopping at these stop signs, they're just gonna drive right through. Smash like if you agree.
And wrapped it in clear plastic. At night, the sign became completely invisible. Drivers would approach the intersection with no warning to stop. The teens wanted to watch the confusion as cars rolled through without stopping. That evening, 80-year-old Jean Shea was driving with her sister.
Not 80-year-old Jean Shea. Oh, I'm sorry, Jean Shea. Oh, I'm sorry, 80-year-old Jean Shea. Both people already can't see as it is. Now you're gonna plaster Vaseline all over her one stop signage? That's insane.
85-year-old Mary Spangler in the passenger seat. They were traveling on familiar rural roads they had driven for years. As they approached the vandalized intersection,
no.
Shay saw nothing to indicate she should stop. The sign was there, but the petroleum jelly and plastic wrap made it impossible to see in the darkness. She drove through at normal speed. An SUV was approaching from the perpendicular road. That driver had the right of way. He saw Shay's car not stopping and tried to brake, but there wasn't enough time. The SUV struck the passenger side of the car at full speed. It was a T-bone collision. The impact crushed the passenger door inward. Metal crumpled directly into where Spangler sat. She absorbed the full force of the collision. At 85 years old, her body couldn't withstand the blunt trauma. Her ribs shattered. Internal organs were damaged beyond repair. She died instantly from the impact. Shea survived with injuries, but lost her sister. Police found the teenagers shortly after. The petroleum jelly was still smeared across the stop sign, evidence of what they had done. They were arrested and charged. A simple prank designed to cause momentary confusion had made a stop sign invisible and sent an elderly woman through an intersection to her death.
Oh no, was that a simple prank though? A prank is something funny, ha ha. Not something that might actually make somebody go to their death, though. Cause I don't know which prank is the worst out of all of these, cause all of them are so bad. A world without number one.
A world without fear.
Without fear. So that means we're scared of nothing?
Wait. Can you check my closet?
Hold on. I thought this is supposed to be a world without fear. And this dude really be making his dad check his closet for monsters? Family, that's a complete myth. There are no monsters in anybody's room. Wait a sec. I don't like the creepy music.
Great. I just wanted to make sure the clothes were hung up properly. Turn off the light so we don't waste energy.
Wait, he's not looking for monsters. He's looking for organization. There is no fear anywhere in this world.
Passengers, this is your captain speaking. We are going through a terrible storm like I've never seen before.
On an airplane. Wait, nobody's worried about the turbulence?
Fire. Fire.
Very good. Fire.
No, baby on a plane, not very good. Cause do you know what fire means on an airplane? It means nobody is going to be living any longer. But good job, little baby. Looks like you just said your first word. And probably his last. Ooh.
Fire.
Okay, nobody's scared. This is actually creeping me out.
Okay. You'll be on in 1 minute.
Stage fright.
Ready for your first live conference?
He's got to be scared for this.
There's 4,000 people out there.
Yes.
And 17 million on live stream. No problem. Did you memorize all 23 pages of the speech?
Yeah,
What? Okay. The president of the nation is in the auditorium, in the front row. Okie dokie. No problem.
He's too calm. Spider!
Ah, there you are, Roxy. Come here and I'll feed you.
Oh no, this is crossing the very long-legged furry line. If the future means a world of having a pet spider in your home, then that is a type of future Alexia does not want to go. I'd rather turn into a zombie and have an evil monster eat my brain. At least then the spider won't do it.
Johnny, are you all right?
Ah! I hate the noise.
You haven't touched your food.
People are laughing instead of screaming. Cause nobody is scared. This is weird.
Dear passengers, on behalf of the airline, I would like to announce that the left engine has stopped.
I had a job interview. I'll have to make up some excuse.
Wake me up when we get there.
Wake me up when we get there? The end? Hello? This is not a wake me up when we get there. Because just like that end screen, the end, this, my friend, is the end for you. Because unfortunately, you about to go oof. I didn't want to be the one who said it. Family, make sure you watch to the end of today's video to see what a world would be like without death. Because that one is going to be the craziest one yet. Keep watching. A world without number 2.
A world without garbage.
Garbage?
Come on. Pass me the bag.
Wait, a world without garbage would be great.
1638.
That means there would be no smelly anything anymore.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, that's the whole block. Okay, let's...
Wait, I thought those garbage bags were filled with garbage, but they're actually filled with Christmas presents. Okay, I like this world. Family smash like if you do too. Ooh, the plants were eating the leaves when they were falling, so the leaves don't turn into garbage. The world is so clean that it's slippery. Everything gets recycled and reused into another item.
Rocky, no! I told you not to do that in the street. Wait till you get home.
In this world, dogs don't do-do on the side of the road. The only thing they be doing is be in chill mode. Kind of cool.
Wait. What's that?
Today's topic: strange objects are invading the city. Here we see one of them from our news van.
What is that?
What's going on? What's happening? Watch
A
out!
rocket ship? An alien? What is that?
The end.
Wait, is that where all the garbage goes? Cause I don't know about you, but I don't think things just float up into the sky and then say, oh, bye-bye. There has to be a reason for it, and I'm trying to investigate. That is, after I clean my investigator glasses, cause dang girl, these things are dirty, I might as well throw them out. Wait a second. I'm not allowed! Oh, world without garbage. A world without number 3.
A world without sound.
Sound? Oh. Wait, there's 2 twin babies. They're crying, but you can't hear them. Heavy metal music, construction workers. Nobody can hear anybody scream. Oh. And even the guy at the race is getting arrested. Family, there is no sound at all in this video. Tell me, Barbara, do you still think about him? No. I don't believe you, Barbara. Our relationship has entered into a loop that seems to never end. I just can't understand how you feel. What do you say, Barbara? I love you, John. I want you to express it with more emotion, though. I love you! Aww, everybody's cheering, but you can't hear anything. See you tomorrow, my love. Bye, Snuggy. Sleep tight. You hang up. No, you hang up. Family, since they can't speak to each other, this couple is using flashlights to communicate. Both of you hang up. It's time to sleep. But wait a second. Ring, ring, ring. And instead of it being a noise, we are using electric shock. Now let's see, the girl needs to buy a ring, but there's somebody bad behind her. But now the alarm clock can't even go off because there's no sound. Instead of thinking somebody is stealing, everybody thinks it's a party. Oh, well, that's awkward. A world without number 4.
A world without losers.
Losers?
Competitor prepares herself, representing her country.
Swim competition?
Positions herself and...
Go, girl, go!
a perfect splash.
Wait, she just cannonballed into the water. And that guy was the only racer? Oh, no, he wasn't, but everyone gets to win.
A pleasure to witness this very special award ceremony. After a real sporting spectacle.
Everyone gets gold medals?
And people, a photo that will
No
go
matter
down in
who they
sporting
are.
history.
Even the announcer
No
gets a
bets.
gold medal. That's not fair. Okay, we're at a roulette table.
Yes. Zero the house.
And everybody wins the game? So they all win all the money at the casino. Wait, a world without losers is kinda lit. Everybody gets to be rich. Everyone gets to be treated like royalty. And everybody gets to win. The whole stock market is up, up, up. Everyone's winning money today. Family, a world without losers
How are we doing?
means
Sorry,
everyone's
boss. At this rate,
successful.
we're going to have to take drastic measures. Let's do it.
What's the Jurassic measures you gotta take?
The value of the assets this week multiplied the profit 6 times in the blink of an eye.
Whoa!
The end.
Everybody wins! And if everybody wins, then that means nobody loses. And if nobody loses, then how do you even win? Because for someone to win, then somebody has to lose. But if nobody's losing, then does that mean you haven't even technically won? Oh, family, it's so confusing. But at least it doesn't matter if I understand or not. Because either way, since everybody wins, that means my answer is right. Oh, I'm still confused. A world without number 5.
A world without pain.
Ooh, pain.
Are you breaking up with me, Barbara?
Oh, this is
Yes.
gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Tell me the truth. Is there someone else?
Yes, Tom, your childhood friend.
No!
I knew it. You make such a nice couple.
Sorry, Barbara. I don't think I just heard you right. You're breaking up with your husband for his childhood best friend. And apparently your husband decides to cheer you both on. Yep, that's not something to celebrate. That's called home recon.
Well, good luck.
Oh,
We're not going to stop until you confess.
they tied him up. Squashed his hand. Even using a flamethrower.
And the drunk man says, so this isn't my giraffe.
That's not even a funny joke. She's
Okay, ready.
saying a joke
Thanks,
while
Doc.
getting surgery?
My turn.
Oh my gosh, because she doesn't feel pain. Everything is happy.
You got something for my head, Doc? Yeah, sure. I recommend using it every 12 hours when it's sunny.
Because you don't feel pain means we don't gotta take the giant tumor out of your brain. That is something that now can stay as long as you wear a hat 24 hours of the day. Whoa! No pain. But maybe later today, you'll be digging a hole for yourself underground. But just because you don't feel pain doesn't mean you ain't going to die today. Okay, we have a soccer player.
All right, Ref, you gonna play like that?
Oh, but he just fell. Yellow card.
We are gathered here to bid farewell to our friend.
No.
Who died in peace and contentment, choked to death on a fishbone, while being eaten alive by 2 crocodiles in the Amazon.
That's not
Now
content.
let's proceed to auction off his assets. Let's start with a 60-inch TV. Confess
What?
at once. Who am I?
Who are you?
Yeah.
I don't know, sir. You've grown so much hair literally all over. You look like half Santa Claus, half Christmas Yeti. A world without number 6.
A world without lies.
Ooh, this one's gonna be good. No lies.
Do I look good in this?
Yes,
No.
say yes.
I'm leaving. I don't really love you that much.
Oh!
Smelly baldy locks.
Okay, have a good day at work.
Wait, that's so
Better than
awkward.
mine.
This is so weird. Oh,
This is Pinocchio, the wooden boy whose nose grows every time he sneezes. Achoo!
oh.
Go
Ow!
again. We'll turn off the AC.
It used to be his nose grows every time he lies, but now since there's none of that, his nose gotta find another reason to grow. And I guess that reason is eating too many peppery foods. Achoo! Sorry, family. Just talking about pepper makes me sneeze too.
Let's see. Which button is it?
Oh, his nose is so long.
Despite the demands of parents, Shucko Friskies are back. Part of a completely unhealthy breakfast.
Not suitable for human consumption.
Dude, great
At least they're being
cards.
honest.
Fantastic. Oh, my hand is awful. I fold.
Wait, poker is a whole game about lying. They can't play that anymore.
I really don't know how the banking system works.
Oh.
She sings like a dying rooster, but her father is rich and paid us to make her famous. Betty Live. Tickets on sale now.
Wait, that's so
And
rude.
after 3 months, you will have lost half a pound. Dad, Mom, where do babies come from? Well, I knew this moment would come.
Uh-oh.
Pass me the whiteboard, my love.
Ah! No! Please, no!
And that is how babies are born. Whenever you'd like, we can talk about death. Love, I was the millionth visitor to this website.
Great, now the kid is traumatized. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'm so happy to figure out that babies
Come from a toaster oven.
And I won $10,000. Haha.
You won $10,000.
That's great. And look, I just read that reptilians live among us.
Haha. How's the weather?
Ah! Ah! He's a reptilian!
But at least he didn't lie about it.
He just kept his very reptile tongue
And mouth shut. Except when he was licking that coffee clean.
Hey! A world without number 7.
A world without death.
Oh, this one's gonna be the craziest one yet. Family, smash like on today's video if you want to know the secrets of this hidden world.
We're here to say goodbye to a great friend, a great son, brother, cousin, coworker. It's very difficult when we lose someone.
Oh, no.
We're gonna miss him a lot. Wow, thanks everyone. I mean, I'm only going for 2 weeks.
That wasn't a funeral. It was to say goodbye for vacation.
Tickle you.
No, please, I have a family.
Get over here.
Wait, instead of oofing someone for money, he just tickled him
Happy birthday,
instead.
Martha. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Martha, how old are you? We need a whole flamethrower to light up all your candles. Take a number. 1,500,000.
Well,
Just for the bakery? Trust me, I do not want a chocolate croissant that bad. Okay, wait, who am I kidding? Of course I do. That's one of my favorite foods.
oh no, my mom is gonna punish me in a very severe and unimaginable way.
What is that? Halloween? Everyone's dressed up
What
as...
are you dressed as?
I'm a Word document that wasn't saved correctly.
Wait, what?
Dad, what happened to my 40 times great-grandfather?
Honey, he's just missing. He's not dead. Since nobody dies anymore, the world has just so many people that we have literally just lost him. Kind of like a giant game of Where's Waldo? Except we never win.
Your 40 times great-grandfather is... he's in the sky.
In an airplane? Skydiving! Go get Poppy Nuggy, Chili Nuggy, Saucy Nuggy, and Baby Nuggy at shopalexia.com. Click any video right here for the next Anything Alexia episode, or click right here to go to shopalexia.com. Me, Poppy Nuggy, and all the Nuggy Land characters love you so much. We'll see you all in tomorrow's video.